realized, I always wanted to be a writer. I knew that there was something to writing that I wanted to do and that there was value in that, and I wanted to cultivate that. And so I began to cultivate that over time. And I always knew there was value in that, to do that. And so, I was building these skills without realizing that they were skills that would matter to someone or to anyone someday. But I was doing these things quietly, kind of, starting just at school age, just doing these things. And over time, I thought, as I got into adulthood, I thought, well, maybe I could learn to draw better. Maybe that would be a good thing. And I kept thinking I needed to get better at these things to actually have it matter to someone else. That maybe if I did better at this, maybe I could make something of my art. And so I practiced more, and I tried to get better at art, and I learned more. And my son, he's out here in the audience here, he's 12. He came along, and we got some doodling books for him, some drawing books for him, and I kind of grabbed them aside for myself, and I started to teach myself more about drawing from his doodling books. And so that's kind of was a growth for me. They were Ed Emberley books. So if you want to learn some basic drawing, Ed Emberley, what's it called? Make a World? Is that what it's called? Make a World, I think is what it's called, Ed Emberley. But he has a bunch of basic drawing books. They're amazing books. Just really basic, almost like stick figures. But if you can draw a square, circles, rectangles, if you can draw some basic shapes, you can draw just about anything. And so I taught myself some more from these Ed Emberley books, and I just started cultivating it, but just practicing and doodling, but doodling more. And eventually I got around to the point where I thought, maybe this is something that I could do that I could show to people. And so I started showing people, and they go, oh, that's nice. And then I got to the point where I started sharing it on Facebook. And so a bunch of my friends liked it. And I was like, friends like things on Facebook, and it's that instant gratification, oh, I got all these likes. And so that felt good. And then a friend of mine said, and I had done it just on notebook paper, so it's lined paper. And a friend of mine said, you know what, you really should get some unlined paper to do these on, and they would look even better. And I thought, wow, that was so it was sort of a backhanded, almost I kind of felt a little bit, my pride was a little bit hurt, oh, she's complaining I did it on lined paper. Can't she just say it's a nice thing? But yet at the same time, it was affirming to me that she said this was, what I was doing was worthwhile enough to do it on good paper. And so I started getting myself better paper for doing my doodles. And I started thinking of them as more than just doodles. And so as time went on, I started doing more with that and the doodles. And so I made a New Year's resolution one year, and I said that I was going to doodle more, and I was going to call it art. And that was, for me, that was an act of, like I say, it was an act of defiance to call what I did art. And I have started to cultivate a style of involving, the doodles, but also the writing. I'm a religious person. Actually, my background, my formal training is I have a theology major, and I'm a Lutheran deaconess, and so my formal training is in religion, and so I'm kind of a religious person, and so a lot of what I do with my art is religious themes, and I might even use some Bible quotes, a lot of Bible quotes and things like that, and things I might do one that's about faith or hope or love or something like that, and so, but knowing, I've cultivated a writing styles and stuff that I use in my art. And so as I shared more and more of these over time, people started saying, oh, could I buy some of your art? And wow, this is mattering to people. And so that it started to become something that was significant to other people. And I said, well, I don't know that, some of what I did was just in journals, that it wasn't really something, I didn't really see a way to sell that particular piece. And so I started offering, well, if you want to commission a piece from me, we could do that. And so I had somebody commission a piece, and then somebody else commissioned another piece, and somebody else commissioned a couple of pieces for Christmas. And so it was wow, this is really something. And it, not huge. I'm not making lots of money off my art, but still it was something where this was meaningful to people. And it was something that started out as just something I had to do just to express myself. And then this summer, I had 2 different events for which I was asked to design art to be a logo for the event. One was for an annual deaconess meeting that I go to, and then one was for a retreat that I was helping to lead just this past weekend. And actually, what I came to realize too is that my art is also therapeutic for me, and that I have to do it because I do struggle with depression, and I have things going on in me that I need to work out on paper. And so, by giving myself permission to do my art, some of it I share and some of it I don't. But some of it, I just have to work this out on paper. And some of it is just really messy. And some of it is just, I don't even know what I'm doing when I get to the page. I just have to spill out what I'm feeling and thinking on the page. And it may not ever see the light of day, or it may not ever be seen by other eyes. But some of it does get seen by other people. And but when I do share it, more and more I'm finding that it's resonating with other people. And so this, over the weekend then, this retreat that I was just at, it was a religious retreat that I was at, and the theme, I had done the theme banner for it, and it was a piece of scripture that I had done. And one of the women that was helping to lead the retreat, she came up to me, and we're Facebook friends, so she sees when I share my art on Facebook. And she says, I wanted to let you know that I really appreciate your art so much. And each time when your art pops up in my news feed on Facebook, it's like a little devotional for me. And that she is inspired by my art, something that I do because I can't not do it. Something that I do that I didn't know before, if it mattered or not, is mattering to somebody else. And so I just want to encourage you all, if there's something for you that you're not sure that you're wanting to get started in, or you're not sure if it matters, or you're not sure what's inside of you, what you want to do with it, go for it. You know, just express yourself. What's inside of you, it does matter. And, you know, and you don't know what's going to come from that, but just give it your all, and give it that expression, and have the courage to share it with somebody. And you know, start small. If you're not sure who's going to want to see it, start with somebody you trust. But give yourself that opportunity to express yourself.